today's video, I'm going to be showing you a huge grocery haul as well as showing you how I prep and plan for 1 month of healthy meals. If you guys are interested in seeing how I do it, then just keep watching. Okay, so this is an overview of my kitchen table that is currently jam-packed with all sorts of yummy groceries. And I've gotten these things over a couple different grocery trips, so some of the things have already been opened and there's been a couple bites taken out of a few things like the grapes. But I really wanted to show you guys like what I normally get from the grocery store, what kind of things I normally always have to have on hand, and pretty much how I do one big grocery store trip and then I can stock up with pretty much everything I need. This stuff is relatively healthy. I've got a ton of fruit and veggies, and I've got some healthy snack options I can show you guys. And then once I go through kind of what everything is individually, I will be showing you guys how I plan and prep my meals and snacks so I make sure I stay nice and healthy all week long or until these groceries are out and I gotta go back. So I have everything pretty much divided into sections on the table. So over here is meat and seafood, and then I've got some fresh fruits, and then I got my veggies over there with some dairy stuff in the middle, some cereal, some drinks, and I'll go through all of that. To get started in this corner over here, which is my meat and seafood, and I'm a huge fan of lunch meat. I get it from the deli counter. Some ham, some rotisserie chicken, and this is actually the sriracha chicken. It's kind of spicy, it's really good. And then I have the turkey breast. And then I also like to get these pieces of salmon. This one is just like a regular salmon. And then this one was a little bit leaky, so I decided to put it in a separate container. This is like a brown sugar glazed salmon, which would be really good for dinner. I got this huge pork shoulder. Now I freeze all of my meat when I bring it home, so this is actually frozen as well as the salmon. I just feel like they last a lot better when you kind of try and freeze them that day. And then what I'll do is if I get a big cut of meat like this, I'll cook all in one meal. So, and this will be for like pulled pork sandwiches or just like pulled pork, lettuce wrap, something like that. I love this cut of meat. It's super cheap. This huge cut of meat was less than $9, so it's good to like watch your sales and make sure that you're getting a good deal on everything. This was a giant flank steak I got, and I had just cut it up into about 4 or 5 pieces, and then what I like to do is divide them into separate Ziploc bags with the pieces already cut up. And this is what I use when we make beef stir fry with veggies and some brown rice or some noodles. So I like to keep that frozen. That way I can just kind of grab it and go, and I've got it labeled for what the bag is. I do the same thing with my chicken breasts. So I usually buy a huge thing of chicken breasts, and then I just kind of portion them out in smaller Ziploc bags inside one large Ziploc. And I gotta actually label that one still. But these things like this that are kind of larger, I'll just keep all together if I know I'm gonna cook them at once. So I've got pork shoulder, I've got some really good flank steak for stir fry, some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I have a huge rack of ribs, which I'm gonna make for dinner one night this week. It's gonna be really good. And then I have about 6 pounds of ground beef in my freezer right now. This is just to give you an example. I like to buy a huge pack of them, like a 5 or 6 pound package, and then I'll divide them into like roughly 1 pound. This one's about 1 1/4 pounds of ground beef, but I freeze them like that because most of the recipes I have only call for 1 pound. And then same thing with this, I got this 2 pack of pot roast. This is actually a pretty big cut of meat, but it came in a 2-pack, so I just split them. I've already cooked one of those, and that is one that was left over. And then I love white fish, so this is just regular cod fillets, and these are all individually vacuum sealed, so they stay nice and fresh. And then another seafood I love is scallops, and I'm just kind of starting to get into scallops. I've been loving them with steak, which I don't actually have any steak to show you guys in this grocery haul because I can't keep it frozen long enough because I always end up cooking it. But I love steak and scallops. These are really good. These are the larger ones. You can tell they're about, I don't know, like 2 inches in diameter. And they're really good for like a special dinner if you're wanting to do something like for Valentine's Day. We had steak and scallops. It was really good. And yeah, I just love it. So turkey and lunch meat I love for lunches, but that meat over there is mostly what we'll eat for dinner. So then moving on to fruit, I've got some bananas and I've got some apples. These are gala apples. And I also have some peaches, and then I've got some nectarines. I bought a cantaloupe, which I have not cut open yet. I've got some grapes. And then this is kind of in a weird spot, but I didn't really know where else to put this. This is my absolute favorite hummus. I was telling you guys about this in a video before. It's the Sabra brand roasted garlic hummus, and it's so, so, so good. I'm a huge garlic fan. And this is actually my first time buying this jar of pre-minced garlic. I've already used it a couple times, but I needed like 2 or 3 tablespoons for 2 different recipes, so I figured instead of sitting there chopping all of it, I would just give this a try. It's not the freshest. I mean, I do prefer fresh garlic, bar none, but yeah, so anyways, I've got some corn and some peas. We also got some lima beans and some mixed vegetables. I always keep those on hand. And I can do more of like a what I keep on hand grocery haul if that's something that you guys are interested in seeing, because there's things on this table that I don't, or there's things that are missing from this table that I always have, like garlic and onions and potatoes, pasta, that kind of stuff is stuff I just always keep on hand. But I love having fresh berries. So I've got blueberries and raspberries, and we had blackberries too, but I ate them all. Some butter, some string cheese, and some Parmesan cheese, which I like on salads from time to time. I'm not a huge cheese fan, surprisingly enough, but I do like it. I've got whole wheat tortillas. I use these as wraps, and then I got my Valentine's box of mixed chocolates, which I'm not a huge chocolate fan either. I just sometimes like a bite of something. And then this is my absolute favorite sourdough bread. It's the only bread I really like to eat. It's super, super, super sour. If you like sourdough bread, this is San Francisco sourdough bread, and when I find this in stores, it's very rare, but I'll buy like 5 or 6 loaves of it and then just keep them in the freezer because they freeze amazingly well. And then underneath here, I just have my eggs. I always keep eggs on hand. I usually buy 2 or 3 of these containers at once because I love them in the morning, and hard-boiled eggs are a great snack. And then this is pretty much the only kind of cheese I actually will eat like on its own with a glass of wine. And I only like a little teeny bit of it. So this is a 1 pound. This will last me forever. But I don't really like cheese like that. So I don't know. I just like to have something on hand to eat with crackers if the mood hits. I got a jar, or a jug I should say, of Dannon Light and Fit yogurt. That one's kind of full of chemicals, not what I normally would recommend, but you know, it was on sale, so it's good with berries and some chia seeds or some granola. Got a gallon of milk. I always like to have a bottle of champagne and a bottle of red wine. As you can tell, I've already tapped into the red wine. But I like, this is just a super, super cheap champagne. That obviously hasn't even been opened yet. And then I like either Pinot Noir or I like Cabernet, and I like white wine as well too. So this is sunflower seed butter. I actually like this better than regular peanut butter, and my boyfriend is allergic to peanuts, so I can't have it anyway. And then I have kale. I got 3 huge bunches of kale, which are amazing in kale chips, which I can make a video on if you guys want to see that. I have some peppers here for stir fry. There were a few more, but we have been eating stir fry like crazy. I always buy a huge thing of romaine, as well as I have some Brussels sprouts here. And then I don't normally buy iceberg lettuce, but I found a recipe on Pinterest for like Thai chicken lettuce wraps, and you can't use really romaine for those, so got some lettuce for that. And then I got this baby spinach blend. It was on sale, and it's got like arugula in it, and it's really good. Got some Brussels sprouts, 2 bags of dried beans. I love having beans and rice on hand. Some mushrooms and some celery. Now this is the one of 3 celeries that I bought this trip, and it's my favorite with sunflower seed butter or hummus. I like them both. And then I always have to have club soda because I don't drink pop, but sometimes I need to have something fizzy, so I'll drink some tea with some club soda in it. And I know it sounds kind of weird. Iced tea and club soda is like such a good drink. Simply Orange is my favorite. I like either the medium pulp or the high pulp. Actually, I like all of them, let's be honest. So I can't find my brand new bottle of Frank's, but I know that I bought one. This is the old bottle, but I did buy one, so I figured I'd put it out just for effect. I love Frank's. I eat it on pretty much a daily basis. I love hot sauce. Soy sauce for stir fry and balsamic vinegar. Now I just made a salad dressing out of this using the garlic I was just telling you guys about. So that's why some of that balsamic is gone, but it's a really amazing salad dressing if you don't want something kind of heavy. Just really good and really flavorful. And then for snacks, I just have some almonds and some dry roasted peanuts. And then these are the pretzel crisps that I love with my hummus. Normally I like to get the plain ones, but these ones were buy one get one free for the flavored one, so I just got the everything and the garlic parmesan, which they're pretty good. And then I just have some cereals back here. I have some Corn Chex, Corn Flakes, and multigrain Cheerios. I also love plain Cheerios, but I did not get them on this trip. So yeah, that is pretty much everything I've got. It's nothing too crazy. I like to keep everything pretty healthy. Sticking on the grocery kind of snack prepping plan, I absolutely love having mason jars around. Every size, this is kind of like the small size, and then I have medium size, which is what I keep berries in, which is a great tip. I actually need to restock these, but if you kind of wash your berries and then put in a sheet of paper towel and keep them in the mason jar, they stay so fresh for so much longer. And I also have these large mason jars too, so I've got peppermint tea and black tea, and I have another one that needs to be washed that I always keep passion tea in, just as an alternative to pop, and kind of keeps, you know, your sugar cravings at bay. So I always keep in a Ziploc bag. I cut up and wash celery, so it's just really easy to grab and go when I want to dip it in some hummus or some peanut butter. Same thing with baby carrots. But I just wanted to show you guys what I was saying about not really wasting anything. So these are all like the little ends for the celery sticks that I cut off. And these leaves and the stalks, just the stuff that you don't normally, like, won't be good to eat, make really, really, really good veggie broth. So I always keep like little pieces of onion or little pieces of carrot, the ends that I cut off, and I just keep this bag in the freezer. And then when it gets full, I'll just throw it in a pot of some hot simmering water with some salt and pepper and some other like bay leaves and stuff, and it just makes a really good healthy vegetable broth. And I like to keep some hard-boiled eggs just peeled, like not peeled, but ready to go, ready to grab and peel. Keep them in a little bowl. And then this is the vinaigrette I was telling you guys about. I just labeled it Halo's vinaigrette. But salad dressings, everything like that is really good to keep in these small mason jars. And then I also bought some prickly pears from the grocery store. And I'm really bummed that I didn't get them on camera because they were really cool. But I ended up making this prickly pear syrup, which is for prickly pear margaritas. You just put a little bit of this with some club soda, like 2 tablespoons of this with club soda, and a little bit of tequila and lime, and salted on the rim if you like it like that, which I do. Oh, you're so cozy on your heated blanket. Oh, look how she's holding her bone. She's so cute. So this is what my setup looks like when I'm going to start meal planning. I've got my coffee and some snacks, as well as my iPad open to Pinterest, an empty notebook, and a planner that has both a monthly and weekly view. And then what I did is listed my inventory for freezer, fridge, and pantry. This is mostly the stuff that I just got from the grocery store, as well as a few other things mixed in that I want to make sure I eat up, whether that's chili or split pea soup that I already have made, or something that I need to make ahead, such as pizza dough or Caesar dressing. I just like to make a little note so I remember to make that. And then what I have here is I have listed my freezer items, so the kind of meat, and then the quantity and how many days we have, so I've numbered it 1 through 30. And then I've listed what I'm going to make from that cut of meat and the side dish. So for boneless, skinless chicken breast, I have lettuce wraps, stir fry, chicken piccata, balsamic chicken, and then whatever side I'm going to have, and I have that listed for all of my meats. So in total, I have 30 days, giving myself 2 days that I know I'm not going to be cooking dinner, as well as some filler days with freezer foods such as split pea soup and rice and beans, which I already have in the pantry. And then what I do is I take my inventory list and kind of my rough draft, and I make my final copy on just one large sheet of paper with all of the dates on the far side, and then I number it 1 through 30 just to make sure I'm on track and I have enough food for 30 full days. I also have it listed Monday through Sunday, so I know which kind of day of the week it's on. And for this month, we're going to be starting with going to dinner at Ryan's parents' house and then going out to dinner with my parents. So I won't actually be cooking anything until I make my chicken stir fry on Wednesday. And then when I have that listed on my final draft, I'll go back on my rough draft and make sure I cross it out to make sure that I have everything in order and nice and organized. Now I'm just going through the rest of my days and making sure that I divide all of my different categories of meat up into different days so I'm not eating the same thing a couple of days in a row. I like to make sure that I get a beef, a pork, a chicken in each week, so on and so forth, mixing it up with some rice and beans and something from the freezer, just kind of depending on what I've got. And I make sure I list, like you can see I have chili listed twice and then beef stew listed twice because most likely I'll eat those one after another. And when you're all done, it will look like this. It's pretty much the best thing ever to see all of your meals already planned, so all you have to do is make them. You don't even need to think about it. And you have fresh, healthy food for an entire month. Now this is where I use the daily planner to write what I actually ended up eating because sometimes it does differ, so I just have it divided by breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And then I also like to transfer my dinners onto that monthly calendar so I can see it just by glancing at it on the side of the fridge. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I meal plan and a little bit of a grocery haul. Comment below and let me know if this is the kind of video that you guys would like to see more of, or if you have any questions, and make sure that you give it a thumbs up if you like it, as well as subscribing for new videos. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!